Okay, so I'm getting ready to open up another Bitcoin swing trade. I'm going to show you guys exactly what has to happen for me to do that. So I'm going to show you guys in a moment. And we're also going to talk about Mara stock because we had a very important meeting today, FOMC. It wasn't super as significant as I thought it was going to be, but we still have tomorrow's jobless report, and then we also have Friday. There is I'm going to show you guys another meeting, and this one Jerome Powell is actually going to speak, and it's at 10 a.m. So I think that's 10 a.m. Eastern. So I think that's 30 minutes after the market closes. So it's gonna be that one's gonna be really significant because he's actually gonna set the tone. And the cool thing is that it's after the jobless report. So he's gonna also be thinking about that as well. And then we have that September rate meeting, and it's gonna be it's gonna be a big deal. But basically, right now with Bitcoin, before we jump into Mara stock, nothing from yesterday's video has changed. My view is still the same, although there is something that could be significant unfolding right now within the smaller picture, and it could potentially cause a earlier than ideal price bottom within this. So I'm gonna break it down. And for anyone that's new, I'm gonna go over the bigger picture first. So Bitcoin has come up quite a bit from deep value earlier this year, at least deep value considering the short term fluctuations we've been seeing. And then what we have is a price rally that finally broke into our bigger picture green extension area, which is a conservative zone all the way up to 150K for a bull cycle top. Now it doesn't have to top out within this area; it can go much higher, but this is just a conservative area based off of bigger picture fluctuations from now all the way back to the 2 years. So it's using big picture Elliott waves to give me this area. Now, what we're looking at is we finally broke into this area. The next price level I've been keeping an eye on and I'm still looking forward to is 128K, which is the next fib line within that bigger picture bullish extension potential um, cycle top area. So now looking at the smaller picture, we know that ever since we topped out back here around 123.5K, we've been seeing a correction during this time. I also said when we bottomed out and we had bullish confirmation, I'm looking for a very similar bullish confirmation now in order to set up for the next rally. But basically, I'm gonna explain to you guys how I'm gonna buy into this as well. But basically, we couldn't break below the zero point 0.5 retracement in this previous fib support retracement, which is just below 111K. Which also, since we didn't come below that zero point 0.5 retracement, we were never able to fill the last value gap back in that's early July. We were able to fill the first two, but not the third one. So what I'm looking forward to is a continuation of price coming lower. It also will not just break below the current zero point 0.5 retracement at 111.4K. It will allow the previous one to fill. It will allow the value gap to finally also be filled. But we have this extension area down here based off of some fluctuations we had after making the new all-time high, overlapping very nicely with not just the below the zero point 0.5 on the previous one, but the value gap, and still within the discounted portion of the current retracement. So that's what I'm looking forward to, is prices continue to come down lower. Now it can come down lower just more directly without having a correction. That's very much possible, but it's also reasonable for it to come up into short-term retracement, which is just from the swing high, all-time high, down to the current swing low. This will allow the price to have a decent correction upwards to roughly 118.5K at the moment. That's the median area. Just because we were never able to fill a retracement as we were following the price lower, and never filled any. But now, if you guys like Elliott waves, we do have a decent Elliott wave pattern, although we never had a proper corrective one. So it's very possible if we don't come down now to below 112K, if that doesn't happen, then we can see some price action upwards, finding a top somewhere around here at the moment, at least potentially, before we come down and have that um, that buying opportunity filled, which is below 112K. That's when ideally I would like to start accumulating a new swing trade with Bitcoin using IBIT and BitU, like I explained in yesterday's video. So that's ideally what I'm looking for, is either we come down now or we go up and then we come down. But um, I'm going to show you guys also what has to happen for me to invalidate, us coming down below 112K, and then, or at least, never filling this value gap down here around 110K. I'm going to show you guys what has to happen for that as well. But basically, we're still far away from the 120 moving average. The RSI has not maxed out whatsoever, while bottoming out the RSI 2 times. There's still bearish momentum. There's no reason to be hyped up or like try to buy in now and catching the stock or the Bitcoin as it continues to fall. There's no reason to do that yet until we have bullish confirmation. So if we trend higher, it can just be a bullish fake out before we come down and actually fill in the support a bit more properly. It's good enough it's in support in the red, but it could come down here and it'll be more significant, and it'll also strengthen the previous support area as well. So if we go up any higher, simple, it could be a potential fake out. Let's say we go up now. What I'm looking to is, let's say it goes all the way up to 118.5K, for example. What I'm looking for early signs that maybe we did bottom out and we're going to go higher is the price goes up into, I'm going to show you guys right now. It goes up into short-term retracement, comes down, holds a higher low, and then we go up higher. The higher low could be potentially within a simple retracement. So I'm keeping an eye on that. The moment the price does that and it breaks over the previous swing high, there's a good chance that it will also break over the 0.618 currently at 119.875K. It can easily break that. So at that point, bullish confirmation will be higher low. If we come up into retracement, we hold a higher low, we break over the previous swing high wherever it's created, and then from there I'm looking at accumulating a bit more aggressively with the idea that the price will have enough bullish momentum to break the swing high and hit 128K. But as of right now, until we have that bullish confirmation, what makes sense is that even if we go up, the idea is that we'll just have resistance, or we could come down. But the idea is, we come down into this buying zone. This is where I truly would like to begin accumulating some IBIT for the foundation of the swing trade. And then as we get bullish confirmation, load up on some BitU to back up the IBIT swing trade, and then have both of those working together to build up some profit on our way up to 128K. Now, in the bigger picture, what we have is as well, and this is also backing up the idea of going down a bit lower, just a bit lower, would be we topped out, we came down, we couldn't have a ideal support at the 0.5 filled, like I said earlier. So this could just be an overshooting second wave on an overall 3-wave move down, with other Elliott waves within each wave. But the idea is that we can potentially have that one more low from back here, one more low, and it'll create a much healthier setup for the bulls to do their thing, right? So yeah, I'll buy if we get bullish confirmation, but until then, the idea is to buy down here around 110 and continue to load up as we go potentially all the way down to 107K. That would be pretty much ideal. And then once we start getting bullish confirmation, higher highs and higher lows in the smaller picture, backing up the IBIT trade with BitU. So I'm looking for some lower prices regardless if the price goes up a little bit. We have retracement to keep an eye on, so it could be a potential bullish fake out. No reason to get ahead of ourselves. But it's very important everyone to also focus on the risk management, because everything I say in this video is just my own personal opinion. It's what I'm doing, and I just like to share it with you guys. So just keep that in mind, right? This is just what I'm doing. So now what we have, just like in yesterday's video, I said, we're in the sideways, in the short term, we're in the sideways consolidation channel. And I also said that, it's a good idea to potentially use this sideways channel as some short-term trading until we have a bullish fake out confirmed that is sustainable into either direction. And actually, exactly what I said could happen yesterday happened, which is the price coming down, having a break of structure. In this case, is to the downside, but it was not sustainable. It came down. It tried maxing out the RSI. It almost did, but instead, what happened is that the price quickly recovered back above it, and it didn't use the bottom. It did not use the bottom support as a resistance as it came back up into the channel. So that means that there's a good idea that we can just simply continue to see this channel stay alive. I would not be surprised if we break past the 0.5 at $15.68 and try to go back up into the low 16s before finding resistance and then coming back down into the lower part of the channel. When it comes to the bigger picture, though, this uptrend that I've been focusing on with some buying areas and sell areas and value gaps, we had a really good sell take profit area up here that worked out super nicely, especially with our buying zone being down here. Everything's the same still. I'm looking at this as an accumulation area, and it can be in this range for a very long time. I said this a lot, and that in 2024 we had a very, very similar setup, not just in the price trend, but in the characteristics of the overall macro environment, with economic headlines doing what they're doing. Everything's pretty much the same, and we have this fear and optimism kind of like circling back and forth. So we're seeing something very similar. So the sideways channel can last a while. It can last months, but we will see, right? The idea is that I'm still looking at this as an accumulation area with short-term resistance here to shave and lock in some profit, with the overall take profit area being up here anywhere between or just anywhere over $20. That's the idea, right? And if the price happens to break over the swing high, it's a good idea to potentially, in my opinion, be more aggressive with locking in profit, because I don't believe anything over $23 will be sustainable in the short term, at least. And then after we come into this area, at any point we can have a large correction back down, and actually it can, in my opinion, come back into this red accumulation area once again. So I don't think it will last very long in this area if it happens. But again, I don't think it will be up here anytime soon. It's going to take a minute. So that's why I'm trying to take my focus on this short-term sideways channel as simple buying and selling from low 15s to potentially low 16s as selling, right? So it's just continuing this pattern. At this point, we're just waiting for the price to come back up for short-term resistance and then continue the sideways channel. The dip break of structure was not sustainable. It actually recovered back into it very quickly. So we'll see what happens. Just like I said in yesterday's video, we were pretty narrow. It began widening, and I said, just like in 2024, everything's so similar to where I won't be surprised if it does this again, which is as it unfolds this narrowness and becomes wider, we start seeing wider swings within this area. So yeah, that's basically my opinion. I'm looking for higher prices, but it can take a while. So right now it's just focusing on this short-term price action. If you guys are curious what would happen if we do break below this swing low and invalidate the uptrend, I explained all that in yesterday's video. So, if you're curious about that, just check it out. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. As of right now, it's not a bad idea in my opinion to accumulate Bitcoin, but with the jobless reports tomorrow and then the Jerome Powell speaking on Friday, and we're still not in the ideal support area. We haven't broken below 112K, at least not yet. We are seeing short-term weakness. I'm being very patient with it. I'm just watching it and waiting for my ideal setups to present themselves to open up some more long trades. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to force any trades. But I'm very much excited to see this report tomorrow, what they say on Friday, and then how Bitcoin reacts to it. So I'm going to be watching it very closely, and I'll keep you guys updated. So hopefully you enjoyed, and take care.